Welcome to a new episode of Road to Pro. And today we play the round of 16. In the previous two videos you could see that we have won 2 out of 3 games in the table. If you have missed it, you can still go and watch it. But today a special game because we have to play against my 2 teammates. I usually always play my tournaments with one of these 2 guys. Last 2 years, pretty much every tournament I played. So that makes it a very difficult mental game, and it's also one of our closest games that I've ever played. I've never played against them in a competitive way, so I knew it was not going to be that easy because I knew how they play. I know the left side player plays on consistency, but the right side player plays more attack, so that's unusual. But at the same time, they also know how I play, so they will have a tactic to start with. But you will see it gets very, very, very close, so enjoy watching. And here we go with the first set of the match. They can start serving. And our tactic for this game was, for me, that I can make more mistakes, I can push more. I know in my diagonal that otherwise my opponent will attack me, so I need to push, still need to focus on not making too many mistakes. But for my partner it's a bit different because for him, his opponent plays very consistent. He makes almost no mistakes, he defends really well. So we knew that the most important part was to not get frustrated and just keep going and going and going until we find a way to finish the point. In this point you can clearly see that we already play with confidence and we play not that bad. Here we have our first chance to break them. It's the golden point now. But unfortunately we cannot take it. They make a really good point. And now it's our turn to serve. We try to keep playing the same way. We got very close to the previous point, so... And after a bad bajada from me and some really bad communication, they take the first break. So now it's 2-0 for them. And after this point, it's back to them to serve. Again, we push well. You can see here that we make good points. Tactical, we play right. We don't make too many mistakes. And again, a golden point. And they take it again, and honestly that one hurt a bit mentally. We were playing very good, but we had a feeling that we got nothing back, and at this point, especially because against people that I know, it started to get a bit in my head mentally. Was not that easy. I got stressed a bit because I really hate to lose, especially against people that I know. Not that they are worse than me, but just I hate losing against people that I know. And finally, after losing 3 points, we can take our first point after some really aggressive vibras of my partner. So that feels amazing, and at the moment it was important. And finally we're able to break them, and it's now my turn to serve. But you can see this point that they play very, very aggressive. They directly take the first 2 points and finally they're winning 40-0, and look now how they can take the break back. Terrible feeling. And at this point it's 5-2 and they have their first chance to take the first set, our serve. But we can see in this match that when we are serving we put less pressure than when they are serving, which normally is the other way around. And they were taking the more important points. We lost this set, I think 2 or 3 golden points. And we were making mistakes when we could not make mistakes. And finally, they can take the first set. And second set now. And like you know, from the previous videos, we are not good at the beginning of second sets. At this point in the game, we were mentally not amazing. We felt a bit bad about the first set. 6-2 was pretty harsh, but they were playing tactic-wise better than we were doing. So it's fine, but at the moment it was not fine at all. So you can see now that they were pushing more and more and more, and we start making more mistakes, and you can see that we lose a bit motivation. And they directly take the first point. Now it's my turn to serve, and in this point you can clearly see that the motivation and the focus is getting down. First, my teammate makes a mistake that he usually doesn't make because he plays and he builds up the point really well, and then he plays in the net, which is not what he usually does. Then I make a direct mistake, and then finally my partner makes again a mistake. So this point itself, I made 2 direct mistakes and my partner makes 2 direct mistakes, and that way it starts to get very difficult to make the point. And at this point it's 0-3 for them and our time to serve. But this game was in general a very, very good game. You can clearly see, and I'm gonna show this game fully, all our points that we make and my amazing smashes, which is usually not my strongest point, but this game, I don't know, it felt really good. And we can take it. And in this point you can see that it's getting more and more frustrated, and I don't really know why. At the moment we felt like they were playing so much better, but now that I'm rewatching it, it's not that bad. So that's something mentally we really have to train on. But in this point you will see first we get frustrated, and then we will get a good reason to get frustrated. And here you go, my opponent got very, very lucky with a kind of drop shot or whatever you want to call it. But sometimes it gets better, so it's all about the consistency in whole the match. Especially in this serve, you will see that we play amazing. We get it very easily. And the next point is then again terrible. They take it very easily. Now it's 5-2 for them and they have a lot of options to win the match. And now it gets really interesting. It's our turn to serve. We were not really talking tactically on the bench. We're trying to motivate each other. But you can see from this point, the way of our playing is getting more and more different. I'm going to show you all the points. Now 5-3 for them and their turn to serve, so they can serve out the match. But you see that our way of playing completely changed. I don't know what happened and I still don't know it today, even if I rewatch it. But we play with so much confidence. We were pushing really hard. I think they lost a bit of focus. I don't know, but keep watching. My turn to serve now, and they get to a 30-0 lead, so they are pretty close to winning the match. After some fighting, we get it back to 30-30, but now just watch my partner. 5-5 now. And after this terrible smash of me, 6-6. Time for a tie break. To be honest, at the moment, we felt very confident for this tie break. We came back all the way from 5-2, so I would say we were in favor. We were at this point playing better than them and putting more pressure. After a long point, we can take the first point, which is for me always in the tiebreak one of the most important ones. And it started to go faster and faster. At this point in the game, it's 4-0 for us. Now 6-0, so now we have a lot of chances to take the second set. And we can take the second set with a tiebreak with 7-1. Now it's time for a super tiebreak. And at the moment, we were again very confident for the super tiebreak. You can see in our game, we were playing much more focused. We were putting a lot of pressure and we were not making that many mistakes anymore. You can also see after each point how happy we are, but how much energy there is. 4-2 now, but even if you're confident, still a super tiebreak is always very stressful. You don't want to make too many mistakes, because if you make too many mistakes, it's getting more difficult. I don't know, it's always very stressful, and in my opinion, it's also, most of the times, it's a 50-50. And after this match, it's 8-3, so we get closer and closer. And here's our first possibility to take the match. And my partner does an amazing pop out after the opponent's smash. And to make it even more excited, we are now 9-5, so they are closing in. And finally we can take it. You can see how happy we are with this win. And that was it for one of the closest matches I've ever played. I'm very happy with this win, but I have to be honest, I think we got lucky in a way that in the second set, the moment we started to play much better, that the opponents were playing worse and they were hesitating a lot. So it was a good timing for us. But I have to congratulate them because the first set until 5-2 in the second set, they were just playing better than we were doing. So I've also made the video a bit longer than usual. If you like this more, let me know in the comments. Please feel free to subscribe and like this video. See ya!